Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP. Why it works, even if you don't believe in it. Gotta try this for umpteen whatever time. Whoever said third time's a charm hasn't been to some of my recording sessions that I'm trying to do here. Okay. Kind of amusing. I'm trying to show how certain things in life are a little amusing because they are so obviously foolishly stupid. Flat Earth people, like I said, they sit there and they deny that, you know, a piece of video on the International Space Station or a piece of video on a satellite somewhere can be real, because they don't allow it. And then they turn around and they tell you that their photograph proves that the Earth is actually flat. And my thing, of course, is that no, you're not. Neither one of you are going to be able to prove a three-dimensional object with a two-dimensional object. Okay, 3 dimensions, 2 dimensions. They don't go inside of one another. Check reality. You can understand a three-dimensional object from a two-dimensional. That's why we have building plans. That's why we have automotive plans and schematics for computers and radios and microwaves and, you know, whatever else you want to think of. Not to mention photographs, paintings, drawings, cave paintings. Okay? It's got a long history of doing two-dimensional picture representation. But, like I keep showing you, while you look at it this way, it's pretty cool. You know what it is, and you say, yeah. But like I say, if I hold it this way, you don't know what's on this side, and you don't know that this is real or not. You're also talking to somebody here that's got, you know, umpteen dozen years of working with Photoshop, so I could have inserted this into this video and make it look like it's three-dimensional. It's not. Rather interesting. This is, you know, umpteen time I'm trying to do this today. I got up this morning and tried to do something. Well, when I went out this morning to do my sales on the street, the hallway light is out. Typical Mexican light bulb here. Yeah. It's dead, it doesn't matter. Hopefully I won't drop it and hurt myself. But you notice that it's totally clear. Well, not, you know, it's very dirty. But I mean, you can see through relatively, so you can understand that you've actually got a sphere. You are still looking at a two-dimensional object, folks. Therefore, no, you cannot guarantee that this is a three-dimensional object because you have a two-dimensional image to look at, okay? You know that it should be, but again, like I said, I'm an umpteen years of Photoshop. I'm not going to say that I can actually do it, but I know people that can make this appear somewhere so totally 100% correct that you would never not, you know, you would never not know it. I know I can put one of these in from somewhere else. I can take a picture here and insert it into that one over there very easily. A lot less work than trying to take this and create it in Photoshop or Illustrator. Okay? But that's the only way you would even begin to get to proving flat Earth people. The only way you would get to prove that the Earth is flat is if you have a flat Earth clear, just as I have a light bulb clear versus a smoky one here. Because you're taking the same photograph that anyone else can get. As a matter of fact, best one on that one that I saw was the guy that tweeted something about, oh, here's a picture from the Alps. You know, Peter, you got to look at this. See, it's a flat Earth. There's no curve here. Okay. Anybody that's seen the Alps knows the Alps is not a single peak. Anybody that looked at the photograph could see in the very beginning what would be kind of like in the front foot area of the bottom of the photograph, okay, because it was supposed to be taken way up high in the mountains. You know, you're looking down across this way long, wide open, very low, not very rocky grass area. Anybody know what the majority of the upper heights of the Alps are like? Yeah. Little grassy fields don't exist. So, and then what's out there is a single peak. Now, I wasn't able to actually find it, but Rainier, Mount Lassen, Mount Shasta, Fujiyama, awful lot of volcanoes are these single peaks out in the middle of a long field. You can have a long flat area and then there's way out there. But of course, you're still looking at a two-dimensional picture of a three-dimensional, so the fact that your horizon or whatever you're trying to claim is real out there, way out there, you got to think about it. But that wasn't 192 miles away to that volcano either, I don't think, because too much of what you looked at in between there was like, oh, that might be 40 or 50 miles away, and somewhere around here I got a shot of me taking a picture across a dry lake bed, and you can very easily see the curve. It's a place called Trona Pinnacles. It's in Southern California, folks. Walk out into that desert yourself. Open up your eyes and see it for real. You can see that there is a curve. It may not have been quite as much as a $2,400 Canon 1635 millimeter zoom L professional quality, one of the lowest bend distortion lenses on the market, would ever put into it. And then of course there's all the calibrations, you know, to correct that in Lightroom and stuff like that. Okay, but I took the photo because I like to see the curve of the world. Okay, so the world's not flat. And you can't prove it without having a picture of a clear, flat Earth. Otherwise, you are using the exact same photograph that everybody else is. Now, most of those flat Earth people really push the issue that they are just, you know, kind of... How much time am I having? Where am I at again? 7 minutes. Okay, not bad. Most of the flat Earth people, you know, like to push the issue that you're not supposed to look at those other fake things. You have to just believe us for what we say. Walk into most places and you find gossip column magazines and social media, so, you know, and reality TV, people that are put together. I mean, I used to enjoy watching Survivor for a while, but then I started to realize that they were picking people that would, in a lot of ways, be antagonistic to everybody else. You know, so you would have a lot of infighting and stuff. Now that makes good TV. Don't get me wrong, it makes good TV. But after a while, you just, you know, I got bored of watching the same sort of thing. You know, I mean, it was more of kind of a thing to see how right I would be about who's going to be the next ones to start fighting each other, or what's going to happen next, or which way things are going to play out, and just, you know, run the psychology experiments here, you know, where it's harmless because somebody's else is doing it. But that's what you have. You have all these people who want to nitpick at each other, and everything you do is about nitpicking on this or that. I remember when my son was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, the teacher announced it was very nice to see that my son wasn't crying quite as much because people were picking on him. It was good to see he was finally starting to toughen up. Why is anyone picking on my son? He's a really bad kid, and all of this ridicule of my child to me. So I walked into her classroom one day. The woman wouldn't talk to me again, except at the fact that, you know, and also I had to put in the fact, I would be wearing glasses. When I came in and sat, I watched my son several times get up to go read the board to see what the instructions were that the teacher was pointing to. Other kids were jumping up and out of their seat all the way. One girl was sitting on the back of her chair. Okay, so she was literally sitting up in the class. And she sat like that for at least a good 10 or 15 minutes. And the teacher never cared. So how was my kid bad for getting up for trying to read the board? And when I pointed out the fact that, hey, my kid's getting up because he's needing to read the board. He needs glasses. Let me, I've got an eye doctor appointment for him, and get this and go. And she sat there and turned to me and said, "Oh, I told you about glasses a long time ago." And I looked at her and I removed my glasses and said, "You told me about what, dear?" I wear these things. If you had said anything to me, my son had been in the eye doctor. Then 5 minutes later, as soon as I could make an appointment. And that's the way you people do your life and what you do with it. You don't want to face reality. So you have now put this guy Trump in charge, and every day I'm watching new people jump on board with Trump. He's the savior of the world. Excuse me? Go back and look at the history of this guy, folks, before he deletes it all. Why do you think this guy wants, to have his buddies, the media people? Remember, he was a reality TV show owner, right? Yeah. And what's he doing? He just handed the FCC over to the media people. Let's see. FCC goes to media. FCC is supposed to be middle-class American citizens' protection agency against unfair and unlawful practice on media. Cable, TV, radio, CDs, I don't care, Memorial, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay. You go read how much they can actually cover themselves in. But your media is now owned by the media company. And the regulating government agency is also owned by your media company. The oil companies own your environmental protection agency. Your big pharma that makes drugs that will definitely get you addicted is now in control of your food and drug departments. What was the other good? Oh, the SEC, yes. Donald Trump, most of his wealth is in his claim to the properties he owns. And anybody that knows real estate knows that the property values can fall in a heartbeat. All right? Let's see, when did we have real estate crashes? Yeah, the Great Depression and going on, folks. Yeah, yes. That's why I say it's quite amusing. You people have the very wrong people doing stuff, because the SEC, the people that are supposed to watch over the stocks and the trades and the big banks and all that kind of stuff, yeah. It's now owned by Goldman Sachs. They're now owned by the Wall Street bankers. They now run it. They now tell themselves what they can do. It's kind of like when your police department tells you that they're doing an internal investigation because you can't know anything about what they do and how they do it. Or your military wants to use a foreign country to torture somebody because they can't do it in their own country because somebody might find out. Yeah, you got a very wrong person in office. And the sad fact is that it's not just one person. I have since, the 70s said, fire them all! Start over! Get smart! Clear them all out, set up a whole new system. Sheesh.